Here we go. Uh, I ain't gonna lie. I was sick, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of anything. I've done a couple of shorts. I did one video, and I haven't really done anything else. I am trying to set you guys up. We're gonna try to do this in a way in which you will stay while I drive. I don't know how well this is gonna work. Obviously, I didn't plan for this, so let's plan it by ear. Let's see what happens. Anyhow, I had the flu, and I was basically stuck in my room for 2 or 3 days. So today is my 4th day, and I just got out like 2 hours ago. Took me a quick shower, and I've got things I got to do because I've been behind for 4 days. So we're going to go out and about. I got some running to do. But I wanted to talk about the Colts, Parris Campbell, and the fact that he's no longer with the Colts. So the Colts have cut some big, well, I shouldn't say cut, traded some big time players or let them go. Parris Campbell did not play very much for the first 2 years he was with us. Last year he had a full season. He is our quick guy. So I don't know who they're picking up is going to have speed, but we're going to need somebody. And we also traded off to the Cowboys our best defensive back. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Are we in a complete rebuild season altogether? Is that what they're deciding to do? If that's what they're deciding to do, that's fine. I got a problem with that. But then you come out and say, hey, we are rebuilding this team this year. It's going to happen. It is what it is. We don't see a quarterback that we want to invest in for the next 15 years. So we're going to wait for a draft or two. So another year or two. Well, that's not fine with me. I thought for sure that I think there's 2 good quarterbacks, and everybody's talking about Bryce Young and that he may end up moving down to the 3rd spot and get passed up because, well, for whatever reason. I don't believe that. I guess there's some sort of chance. I don't see it happening. But nevertheless, if it happens, pick his ass up, because everybody's also discussing how small he is. He may not be able to take a hit, and I get it. There are some 6 foot 3, 6 foot 2, 300 and some odd plus pounds of pure muscle that if he blindsides you, it looks like you get killed. And I understand that. What our Colts organization needs to understand is that we need a will. They're building the motor, which is my opinion, and which I made the statement in a previous video. The motor being the offensive line. They're building it. Okay, then they're going to build it. But we're going to need somebody to steer that offensive line. We're going to need somebody to throw the ball to our receivers, whatever receivers that we have, which is, Pittman's in there. I mean, we got a good receiver. We got Alec Pierce. And I don't really know how fast Alec Pierce is. I mean, he shows us possible spurts, but with the lack of offensive line play we had through the season, even though it got a little bit better, but the lack of, I don't know how fast he really is. I know that it takes a lot of practice to get off the line in a way that you don't get jammed up and be stuck from making your route. So I mean, he had to develop that in the NFL. So we're going to see how good Alec Pierce is this year. But why let Parris Campbell go? I'm beginning to wonder if they're not trying to make room in the cap. A quarterback I do not want. I do not want a Lamar Jackson. I don't think he'd fit well, and I'm not so sure that's. But then again, I'm not running the organization. I'm not the one inside looking out. I'm outside looking in, just like everybody else is. I just don't feel. I feel like Lamar Jackson is number one, going to cost us too much money. Number two, it's going to cost us too much draft equity as well. Okay, so we're not the Browns. I don't want to be the Browns. I don't want to pay one person so much money. We do not have enough room to hire anybody else to complete this team. I mean, you don't spend that kind of money. You just don't. $231 million is just too much money. It's a ridiculous amount of money. There's only been one team to do it, and I don't see anybody stepping up and doing it again. If we do that, Ballard is out of his mind. I think that the Browns just showed how much out of their mind they were, how desperate they were, because that's what that is. That's desperate. Why would you want to be desperate like that? I just don't get it. And I hope that we are not that way. I hope that Ballard's not so desperate he wants to grasp for something that really puts us down for 5 years. I mean, it screws us. And I mean, who are we going to trade him to if something should happen and he doesn't fit our scheme, or if he, heaven forbid, if he gets hurt and he's down and out for a year and a half, how are we going to make up that? It's a stupid amount of money for a stupid reason, and you should never, as a team or as an organization, spend that much money on one person. It's just stupid. So I don't want that. I don't see how anybody else would want that. But I personally think we're getting rid of good players instead of keeping them. We're picking up players we don't need, and I still understand the kicker pickup. I just don't. I get Matt Gay is really good. I understand it. He is. I think he missed 3 field goals all season, none extra points. I think he missed 6 over the last 3 years, which is really good. But still, it's just not. It just made no sense. We did really good in the kicking game last year. We were, I mean, I for the life of me, for whatever reason, I can't really think of our kicker's name, but we never got in predicament that he lost the game for us. I think he only missed 2 kicks, maybe 3 last year himself. So I don't understand that step. Why do it? I don't know what they're trying to do. I hope they're not trying to mimic what we had with Luck, because we are going to need a quarterback that has much talent as Luck, or somewhere close to it. And if we're not going to get that, then what's the sense of trying to build a team around somebody that's not even there? And if you're rebuilding the team, cool. Just speak up and say you're rebuilding the team. You're cutting everybody that's costing us money, and starting off from scratch. All right, well, that's fine. It gives you plenty of cap room, and it gives you plenty of flexibility to do whatever you want to do. That's fine. Just tell us fans what you're doing. That way, we're not feeling lost, and we're not thinking you're nuts, and we won't get our hopes up, because our hopes grew for you to jump to number 1 and pick either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, and that didn't happen. I feel like you dropped the ball there. But if you're in a rebuild process and you're basically going to draft everybody you think that needs to be around the quarterback this year, and look for a quarterback the next year or 2, just speak up and say so, because I really don't know what you're doing. I am lost in what we are doing as far as free agency and draft. I am completely and totally lost. It would not surprise me if we move back and pick up like 3 more picks, because that's just what Ballard does. And what he's doing is consistently the same thing he does every year. And there's a definition for crazy. It's repeating or the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And if the very reason why he didn't move to number 1 was because he thought he would get better, more players that are good instead of great by staying at 4 or moving back a couple and getting a few more picks, then he is repeating the same process over and over again, expecting a different result. I want to know who the hell he's expecting to pick up, because this shit is just stupid. This shit is retarded, and I can't think of one good thing that we've done since firing Frank Reich. I haven't. I can't think of one good thing. I mean, outside of, I personally think we needed Jeff Saturday when he came in, and I don't know that he wouldn't have been a good coach picking up an entire season, because he had plans for our team. His plans were already made. Now, whether or not that coincide with Ballard, I don't know. But he had plans on how he wanted to get this offense moving, how you want to get this team working as a team. And yes, people needs to be cut, but the people that I expected them to cut, they're not cutting. And they're picking up, they're picking up players that I wouldn't have thought they would pick up. So, but this is Chris Ballard. This is just another Colts season with Chris Ballard, and I don't see how he still has his job. I would love to have his job from the time the season ends until after the draft with the scouts he has. I'm not saying I have a brilliant, NFL mind, because I will even speak up to this. I'm probably retarded compared to Chris Ballard's mind when it comes to NFL football. Okay? I have no problem making that statement. But at the same time, Chris Ballard almost fools himself thinking that he can get by with all this mediocre play. He's picking up players that can play in the NFL as a backup role, expecting more out of them. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. Pay me $50,000 to pick a team from the draft and from free agency, and if I end up busting on the entire team, I will give 40 of that back. Give me $10,000 for trying. This is stupid. This is retarded. I just want to be able to point out what we could do that we're not doing. I mean, that's obviously not realistic, but I'm just wanting something to happen. I'm wanting somebody to step up and say, this is why we're doing it, and explain it, and make it sound like it makes sense, because I don't see how it makes sense. Give me the definition of what you're doing, because I can't find it in the damn dictionary. It's just not there. It makes absolutely no sense. And I hope to God that as an organization, everybody looks back and sees what Chris Ballard's doing. This shit ends up hitting him straight in the face, and he's gone next year. I'd like to be, cut his ass now. Cut his ass now. Whoever we bring in, it doesn't make a difference how bad we are next year, because he's done set him up for failure. But anyways, my thoughts on the bullshit. Colts are not moving forward, they're moving back. The only thing I can think of is they're in the process of a rebuild. I just wish they would speak up and say so. Until next time, y'all have a good one. If you like this video, please hit like. If you don't like this video, then tell me why you don't like it. Scroll down, find something you do like. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll catch you on the next one.